OpenAI Build Week did not create Grace Legacy Academy. The curriculum, frameworks, platform architecture, founder systems, product logic, governance boundaries, and years of source material already existed. What Build Week changed was the pressure around the work. A project developing across documents, systems, prototypes, and internal decisions suddenly had to become visible, testable, explainable, and demonstrable within a compressed period of time. That kind of deadline does not create the foundation. It reveals whether the foundation can carry execution. Before Build Week, some decisions could remain open. During Build Week, open questions became blockers. Which features were essential? Which workflows had to be real instead of described? Which governance boundaries needed to be visible? What could remain staged and what needed to be stable enough to show? The deadline turned options into decisions. It forced me to identify what most clearly proved the educational model, technical architecture, and founder-led AI collaboration already in motion. The architecture also had to become executable. Grace Companion needed to demonstrate bounded support rather than merely describe responsible AI. The Academy needed visible learning structure, navigation, and continuity. The systems had to connect well enough to behave like one coherent platform. That meant resolving contradictions faster and testing the difference between what sounded complete on paper and what actually worked on screen. Integration had to become visible too. The Academy, Grace Companion, curriculum, product logic, documentation, and founder workflows could not appear like unrelated experiments. Each part needed a clear role. Learner-facing systems had to remain separate from founder tools. Support needed boundaries. Information had to move deliberately, not simply because two systems could be connected. Build Week also accelerated the work behind the demo. Testing, issue correction, repository review, documentation, screenshots, demonstration planning, evidence gathering. A feature was not complete just because it appeared on a screen. It had to function correctly, reflect the source material, preserve governance, and support the story the platform was making about itself. That is how a 281-page optional dossier happens. I come with papers. Apparently, I also come with appendices. Build Week increased speed. ChatGPT and Codex increased execution capacity. Neither replaced authorship, judgment, ownership, or responsibility. The mission, curriculum, intellectual property, governance standards, product decisions, and final approvals remained human-led. The tools helped convert an existing body of thought and architecture into a stronger implementation. I remained responsible for what was selected, accepted, rejected, tested, submitted, and represented publicly. The most important outcome was not simply a submission, it was production momentum. The platform emerged more integrated, documented, testable, explainable, and prepared for continued development than it had been before the event. Build Week gave the architecture a deadline, the collaboration a public test, and the platform a clearer production path. The competition ended. The build did not. Subscribe to Grace Legacy Academy and continue into the Start Here R3 framework and Grace Companion playlists to see what the build was designed to carry.